fault detection, and that's basically some people call it troubleshooting, and that's basically how to detect problem, detect the nature of the problem, why the problem is happening, and actually resolve it. So that's the idea behind fault detection. So what we hope to achieve today is to know what troubleshooting is. That's actually fault detection, differentiate between analog and digital thermometers, state how an instrument can be used to detect a fault in an appliance, list 6 fault detection instruments, and state how to use an electric current tester, and mention 3 fault detection process. All right, let's start our definition. Fault detection is also known as troubleshooting. It's a form of maintenance for electronics that should be corrective maintenance. So since electrons move about in small gadgets, they are referred to as electronics. So troubleshooting is a process of finding likely faults in equipment, machine, and appliances by using appropriate tools. What are we trying to say there? When an electronic, a device, a machine, not machine, sorry, device is having problem, what you need to do is to carry out a serious troubleshooting and use appropriate instruments to do that. You use appropriate instruments to do that and be able to detect what the problem is, and also be able to resolve it as soon as possible. So that's just the idea behind troubleshooting. Now, for detection tools and instruments, you have voltage indicator. This one is used to check whether voltage exists, right? I just wish the diagram is here. Okay, so that's just that's the diagram there. So all you have to do is plug it. It has 2 pointers, positive and negative. So you put it at certain positions, and from there you will see that this arrow will read, and if it doesn't read, that means there's a problem with that machine. Now there are actually 2 types. There's the analog meter. The one we have down here is the analog. It's the analog. The digital one is supposed to look like this current tester. It's supposed to look like this. So the analog has a deflecting finger indicator. It's just picture it like your wall clock as it's moving. So that's just how it works. So the digital one, that one works with digits 1 and 0. So it shows, you see what's going on there, and so on and so forth. So that's just the so as I was saying, you have the analog and the digital meter. So, and those ones, they have their different ways of displaying things. Now the next instrument is the electric current tester. Now the normal tester, the normal screwdriver you have doesn't look like this, but this is quite an advanced one. So this one, once you put it there, it will show a red light, and it will give you a very wonderful reading and tell you that this is what is actually going on. You have continuity tester as well. This one also has, you have the oscilloscope. Now this one is used to test small charges. This one is used to test small, just little charges now, and so on and so forth. Then you also have the insulation tester. Now every of these testers, they have their function. Each of them, they have their function. That's one thing I want you to know. You also have soldering iron. You know, when something gets spoiled, you use soldering iron and you use a lead, and it would give you a um, perfect correction of what is wrong. Now, to detect fault in any appliance, you should follow the steps. Understand the operation of the appliance. Now, if it's a phone that you want to check, you should understand that when you put on a phone, it should come on. So when you put on that phone, it doesn't come on. The first place you should be thinking of is the power button or the battery area. So, and so on and so forth. I wish I could do a kind of practical using a phone and carefully explain how to detect faults in certain phones, at least not all kinds of phones, but at least in some phones. So check the connecting cord that transmits power to the from the mains into the appliance, and so on and so forth. If it's okay, like I was talking about a phone, let me use a stabilizer for instance. It could be that the fuse is not good. It could be that the fuse of the socket that connects to the place where power comes in is not actually working. You should also check the fuse. I said it. Now if it's a heating appliance like electric iron, check the continuity of the heating element. Now this element is like a substance that is very very small, not that small inside where you put it on, when it is actually what makes your iron to get hot, and so on and so forth. So that's just this is just a brief idea of what fault detection is all about. So the next time we meet, we'll have more things to talk about. So fault detection is not really much of a topic, but it's just something I want you to know. And kindly help me go through the notes. If there's any of these things you don't understand, please feel free. I can drop my number 09044613038, 09044613038. Drop your comments, drop your questions, anything. If you didn't understand the class at all, I don't mind doing it all over again, just for you to get the best. I value you so much. Thank you very very much for your time. Do have a wonderful day ahead.